So we've done case 1 and we're going to case 2 in the second half of the game, which is the expo.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century.
Oh wow.
Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Ooh, that's
And like
bad.
the centerpiece of the great
Somebody got
exhibition,
knocked out.
which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park. Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the crystal tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Hey Xanadu Peach, good morning. I hope you're doing well as well. We're watching the beginning cutscene. There's a great exhibition.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Ooh, scientific experiment, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power.
Steam engines, okay.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future.
Electricity, perhaps?
A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Okay.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high
Oh no.
electricity.
This
and
sounds
put
like a
into
bad
another
idea.
dimension, whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
No. This sounds like such a bad idea. Oh dear.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the crystal tower behind you! This one! Yes! Woo! Yes!
Oh no. Alright. We're in the 22nd October, 9:36 a.m. That's me, Ryunosuke. And there's Iris. Bruno, are you listening? Oh, sorry, what is that, Iris? I need to move my mic farther because I get animated. What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? No, it's not it at all, but, what are we talking about again? Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again. Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. You're really not yourself today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh, Hurley looks down too. Did you say something? Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more now.
When did you arrive, Mr. Naruto? I've been here for half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you'd known I was here, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. What is vim? So much so I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Alright, they're introducing us to the mechanic where he has a deduction and then we have to kind of debunk it, rework it. Alright, let's see what happens. My hair always looks like this, it always has. Ever since we met, in fact. Oh really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. Alright. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. I don't know what they're referring to. Since I was forbidden to from working in court. Apparently. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something? Iris? Back to moping. Wonder what's up with him. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems more down in the dumps than me.
Oh no, heads up, the great expedition is open. You'd think he'd be excited.
I don't know.
Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't believe hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
Suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Yeah, that boy was really excited in that cutscene. 100% Peach. Alright. I don't know if I have a great female voice step. Okay, let's exposition. Story to story. Okay, half a year ago, I took on the defense of a young girl in trial heard at the Old Bailey. First, it seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery. It turned out to be one part of a much far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Essentially, having the court reveal some government secret documents. Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruto. Yes, my lord? I'll decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing.
You have it, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and all those notes about Jones' old cases.
Ruining Iris' special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Mr. Naruto. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers to be to reconsider. Especially Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court of Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here. Right, great exhibition. Old London has been swept up in this great exhibition, isn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of arts and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching.
Oh, don't you know that what I like to do? I like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down on? Do you mean like those things fly?
Yes, of course. Fly high in the sky. Don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? Makes no sense. Can't understand it at all.
That's true. A lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first.
No, that sounds really male now. Like a weird male chipmunk. Yeah, I'm bad at female dubs.
But in 100 years' time, all these things will be just common knowledge.
I suppose it might be.
Fine, yeah. Some of the science.
I sound like a toad. like Toad from Mario. Some of the science
seems being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimental stage yesterday. Apparently, it's a huge explosion.
Ribbit. Not like that, Toad. Like the. What's the? I haven't practiced my Toad voice. It's like a gargly. Yeah, I don't know. I need to practice more voices.
Still, I wish I'd seen it though.
And I need to get rid of the phlegm in my throat to properly do things.
Still, I wish I'd seen it though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article or another about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, and the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That's my proper atmosphere. I hope I'm not being a femboy. I'm trying to be just a feminine character in the game, because that's Iris. I can't really do female voices. Now, if I had installed one of the voice changer stuff, I probably could have gotten away with it, but I have to look up for it. Like, there used to be one, pitch shifting format. VST. like Little Altar Boy, that one has pretty decent pitch and formant things. There's Melodyne, but that one's not live. I wonder which one's free though. There's a free FX M auto pitch that includes torque, formant shifting. I'd like to hear what that one sounds like. M auto pitch. I wonder if there's an example of it. It's free, right? Whoops, sorry. M auto pitch. It exists. Just don't know. M free. No, I don't have it downloaded. I have to download it. Download free. M audio plugins. M audio plugins. I have 1501, so probably can install that one. Install a selection of stuff. Agree, next. PST plugins, next. I have M auto volume on, and I need M auto pitch. Pitch. M auto pitch. There. Next. Alright. We're installing more plugins, seeing how that goes. Nothing, they're hard to understand typically. There's stuff that we can give voice lots of effects. I know there's voice mod. Jason uses one, it's very understandable. And I shut down its volume. Okay. Hold on. So if I edit my filters, I want to hear my voice though. So if I test. Nope. Properties. Nope. Filters. This one goes to this one. Okay, I hear myself. Okay. And then I add the filter. BST. Hopefully it doesn't crash the stream. Alright. M auto pitch. Test. Okay. Let's hear something. What happens if I format shift? Format shift.
It's allowed. Test. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Right. Keep farming. Yeah, I don't know how I would toggle it. I haven't thought it through.
How do I default guy? Yeah. That's funny. What's depth? Yeah, because it has an auto-tune thing on it as well. Turn it off. There. Yes. Okay. Need to bypass this. We'll test it off sometime else. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at gloomy. Gloomy mood. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Anything more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh. Quiet, Mr. Naruto. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. I think he's... Sholmes is talking about Iris listening.
You're acting strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious a complicated case is, the better Hurley's mood is.
Ah, I see.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please. You mustn't exercise your steep powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind. Once I had a cup of tea, I'll just make my way at once to the crime scene. Okay. That was a deep sigh. Just gonna keep examining things. I don't really want to examine everything around. Can I just move? Present something? Mr. Sholmes built this. Oh, dear fellow. Without wishing to sound rude, I'm currently in the middle of an important blank. Perhaps some other more convenient time, eh? Al says, nothing wrong with a deep sigh. Is there some set time to your important blanks? Okay. I guess we're just gonna examine something. Ah, your food is there, sweet! Fair Studery from I'll see you around. Let's pray for Alice before you go. You know, Father, I pray that Alice's food will be good to your body. She'll be able to serve you well in this afternoon. Pray that that you be honored and that people will see your love through her. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Alright, have a great day. My face is super bright, I'm gonna turn down the stuff because it's too bright. Properties. Yep, see you. Have a great day. Alright. Yes, so I've been led to believe that personally I've never seen inside.
Maybe that's the way it will stay. Those papers are secret between Daddy and me. If you go opening it uninvited, you'll find yourself being bitten.
Is there a beast inside or something? Okay. Keep reading all the things. My name's Mr. Chom's faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous?
Yes, it's a Stradivarius. I'm afraid you'll save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Rudo.
If I were to save for 100 years, wouldn't I choose to buy? I wouldn't choose to buy a violin personally.
Well, what would you buy then?
I really have no idea. I think I'll have to do it so I can find out. Okay. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help but think what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again?
The Great Analytoscope. It can analyze absolutely anything, you know.
It does seem incredible. At the same time, incredibly useless.
It's quite impressive, doesn't it? That makes it very useful.
How does it make it useful?
Because it can make you pawn it for lots of money. The pawnbrokers always make idle remarks like, "What an incredible looking machine!" Fairly often takes it to the pawn shop when he's a little short.
Sounds like this thing pulled its weight around here more than I realized. By having its weight pulled around. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Susato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess.
Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves.
Ew, why not?
Everything's in an intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it.
Apparently.
If you were to touch one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Susie noticed it's a very delicate arrangement right from the outset.
You may sound like a meeting of great minds, but the truth is Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Alright. I feel like we saw everything, right? We do live a good fire in the cold months. Watching the flames flicker and dance about is just very relaxing.
Cleaning out the chimney isn't so relaxing, though. No.
Not getting covered in soot isn't my idea of fun.
You know, Hurley decided he was going to clean it out himself last year.
Oh, now I sound like a toad again.
But you guess what happened, can't you? He got himself stuck inside the blue.
He's a very slim man, I admit, but there are limits to where a fully grown man can fit.
Now, every time he does it up by the fire, he has nightmares about it.
All these different pieces of evidence in the cases Mr. Sholmes has solved are very interesting.
The trouble is, Hurley forgets things so quickly he never remembers why things are relevant. The other day, for example, he saw that the orange pips were there and decided to plant them in the garden.
Pips?
Yes, they're all sprouted now. We have 5 million new little plants.
Oh. I didn't know what case they were from, but if Mr. Sholmes can get oranges to grow outside in England, he should change his profession. Alright. Yes, this is where you write notes down, right? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle.
Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone.
Hmm.
The carbuncle is another name for garnet, you see? Especially if it's cut with a round top.
Oh, really? This garnet was blue, was it?
Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered.
Oh. So?
So, who knows what the stuff golden gemstone actually was?
Not sure. That's a
real mystery of the case.
proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? There's so many different bottles up there. A little charming little set of white shelves. There's a dab emote. A dabbing cat. Yeah.
Oh, do be careful, Runa. You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles, even if you're hungry.
I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know.
Well, I wish I could say the same for Hurley. The other day, he polished off the full bottle of one of my alkaloids.
Alkaloids, I think, make you really sick. He what?
He said he was hungry.
I'll be extra careful. Okay. This room tea. Look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day.
Well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs in the garden every time, so it'll never be the same twice.
When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time.
But yes, that's because different blends can have very different properties.
Okay.
Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, and some give you energy. This particular blend is something quite special. You're really in for a treat. Really in for a treat.
Yeah, I haven't been doing this squealy. I've been just doing it high pitched. So, I don't know. Sounds ominous to me too. That's what she's working on. I can type with
my eyes shut, you know.
I can believe it. When deadline's approaching, you sound like a galley gun.
That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It's a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake.
That's incredible.
But then when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all.
I think you might have just fallen asleep on the job. I mean, I think we looked at everything. What's there else to look at? I think we've seen everything, for that matter. I do have a soft voice. Yeah. And today I'm tired, so that helps. I can't move. So present this. Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh, not another word. Yes, I see. This will be a collar for a breed of a miniature canine with a particularly long neck and for winter use. Actually, it's my armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely. That's what leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, a particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this. Alright. Can we present something else? Wait, we can examine this. That's what we're missing. Every article on the front page is news about the great exhibition. Public experiments. It's all positive, wondering, hoping for the coming century. Century. Let's all go to see it properly before too long. Alright. And pages 1 penny. Alright. Ooh, creepy. So many glowing reports about the great exhibition, everything that's going on here. Other than this gloomy one. Wait, what? The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Sykes. That was what Mr. Schultz was talking about. Does he know any more? I wonder. No. We read that? Okay. Let's talk to him again. It says in the paper that Lord Van Sykes was attacked. That's terrible. You know, Legend of the Reaper of the Belly, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Sunshine S Games. Hey, welcome. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. How's your week so far? Remember seeing you in another stream. Ugh. Man, maybe I saw you in Jaziel's stream. Saw you in a different stream. I hope you're doing well. Is there anything we could pray for you? I would love to pray for you as well. Right now we're playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's a fresh case, and we're trying to have all the exposition, the story kind of laid out right now. And that's what we're doing. I hope you're doing well. Yes. Prosecutor Lord Van Sykes. They say that if the Reaper is prosecutor in case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty, once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. Ooh. London's finest rogues always find a way around the law. There's nothing to stop. They'll stop at nothing to secure acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. Even such devious acts as they cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. What is that blob? Sunshine, sun. I like that. As you experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, yeah, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of the criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital is a never-ending supply of scoundrels. Yikes, that sounds pretty dangerous. So you mean Lord Van Sykes has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know? He didn't take these attacks lying down, although it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Sykes hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article it says, as to what Lord Van Sykes and his condition will all be revealed in tomorrow morning's edition.
I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, we can't wait until tomorrow. In that case, we'll have to inquire with someone in the know. But who? Probably Gregson? Or Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Looks like we're going to Strongheart. Well, I must be leaving now. Understood. I'll see you later, Mr. Sholmes. Ugh. Yeah, you're a really shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. You seek to put me off guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you'd be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind. Now I'm wondering where you're going. Ha 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 ha. I'll see you later, indeed. Interesting. What?
Alright, Bruno, let's get going.
Iris, what are you wearing?
I got changed into the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon. What would you?
Of course. After the Supreme Court, we'll go and see the Great Exhibition.
I hope. Let's see. Move. New location. Let's go to the Chief Justice office. It's new because we have started a new game. Alright, let's see. 22nd of October. British Supreme Court. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here, but something's never changed. Foreboding, I always seem to feel this place. She's chilling there. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all though. She's happily reading over there.
I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. Sammy came here 6 months ago. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. I understand you wish to speak with me? He has a very foreboding look. Lord Strongheart, I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see, since you've arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours and 32 minutes and 26 seconds. I kept you waiting a while, my apologies. No, not at all. It's nothing more than standing around, staring into space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived at Britain as a student. You only to savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at least. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. Furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I haven't heard that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is a future. The world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. It's my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can well imagine what this is about. Well, thanks for agreeing to this meeting. I want to be allowed to start as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens.
Weirdo, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Okay, let's chat, I guess. I came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work as a court as a lawyer was revoked, but I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand that what it really means to defend someone under the rules of a foreign justice system. I desperately want to make another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruto? Yes? I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you're a substitute for your compatriot. This is never your intended role. Well, that's true, but... Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not Here, and I should have been Kazma. True. He's determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. This was his calling. If that tragic accident didn't happen, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Suki was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? This has never occurred to you. But perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry? The mission with which the young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense. Never mind. I read all the reports you submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Rudo.
In fact, I believe I have a perfect case to mark your comeback, a curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope? Of course, tell me more. Well, I guess now we have an extra case? You described it as a curious affair. Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. As you were aware, there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday. Oh no.
Yes, I heard about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me guess, how is it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think?
Instantaneous kinesis as in moving things with the click of fingers?
That's right, just like my herbal blend speed. Dash of double me care.
Whatever this serious accident is exactly, it certainly clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. Certain Odie Osmond, inventor, well-known figure in society. A large explosion?
Man died?
Oh no. The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain, who was detained immediately after the accident, is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take this case, you should hurry and meet him in prison. There's little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, scientific experiment gone wrong? And murder? I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then.
Ugh. Man, my voice has been dry. I need to BRB. Gonna get some water and I'll be right back. Alright. One more thing about the case. There's a connection between our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Reverend Sykes? How? Alright. Alright. I don't think I can't even run an ad. Is an ad running right now? What's going on? Let's put it in BRB. As always, the gospel means good news. The bad news was that we've all sinned and deserve the wrath to come. And sin is rebelling against God, going against his purpose for us, breaking his law. Jesus, fully God and fully man, came to live a sinless life to take our place, dying for our sins, was buried and raised on the third day according to the scriptures.
He ascended into heaven and is now seated at the right hand of God the Father, and no one comes to the Father except through him. The time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand. So repent, which means to turn from sin, and trust in what Jesus did for you. The Holy Spirit comes to dwell with us so that we desire the truths in Scripture and have fellowship with God every day. God bless.
Alright, we're back. Turn up the music a bit again. Oh, I'm feeling a little better. Just getting some blood pumping. All sorts of current conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. Next month, the largest, most important of them will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though the criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similar startling rate, so it's imperative we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly, the future of policing. Okay. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to adoption of the forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly, it's extremely alarming. It's like, say you know what forensic science is without explaining anything. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure. The numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different than the current figures. Cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? With a way of apology for keeping you waiting early, I shall detail everyone now. What?
Oh, fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was... That's because this and but the and that more or less sums up my feeling on the matter in simplest terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That's my mission. Right, yeah. That's wonderful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be.
La 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 la.
Our nurse isn't paying attention at all. She got her nose in another book now.
Is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for the most part. Surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Alright, I guess we can move to the prison? I suppose. Alright, we're talking to the guy in the local prison cell. Warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, did someone curl up in a ball in the back of the corner? Look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain. Huh? Who are you? I'm Rinosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? What's something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! I don't know what his voice could be. The demonstration was... I'm gonna make him sound like a Soseki again. The demonstration was... I'm gonna make him sound just like Naruhodo, probably. That magnificent demonstration was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science when it's explained that I'll leave at high velocity. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while too. Alright, let's talk. So, you mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really want to, but, well, I suppose in strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time it was a great success. You lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as the calculations had predicted. At that point, he could have beamed to the crystal tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished? Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct? But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That's the immutable truth here. For that, I wish to be punished. At once. But... murder? Never in a million years. It was simply an accident. Simply an accident. I see. Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He
said the situation could completely change depending on whether it was treated an accident or murder.
Exactly.
If it was really an accident, then the Professor Machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Yes, a newly established here, the Special Dispensation of Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by. But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say the machine was the murder weapon, and they'll pour it over as much as they like. They can examine it in detail and find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to call me an idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected at all costs. That's why my imperative whole incident is shown to have been an accident into. That's why it's imperative this whole incident has to be shown as an accident in tomorrow's trial. I see. So he admits that there was death, but he wants this to be an accident. Okay. In short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition in Surgrind yesterday. Yes, or rather no, the devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds like the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating.
Humans, like all matters, are made of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? What an amazing hypothesis. That's unimaginably high science. But didn't dare to imagine it. Dare to dream such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yeah, that would be incredible. And the next, in mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theater, I say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding wardrobes of rocky seas for 50 days?
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, you travel anywhere in the world instantly. The planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel it had shrunk.
My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does it mean?
Oops. That's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried at the look of it.
Clearly, this is yet another case. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. Okay, so that means he already had it working before, but he didn't have a practical use for it? That's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Riley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more into science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known inventor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died yesterday is in a terrible accident, you mean? Oh dear. The full name of the man who died yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? That's exactly your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. So he wanted to invest my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see, so you hadn't really known each other until then? Money for scientific research, I'm so envious. As far as I'm concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for the presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support of my research. Aspen provided me money and an exceptional engineer. I produced a machine to my precise specifications. but then your dreams were blown away with a dust and one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never have thought to take the man's life. But he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Well, I guess we're gonna present. We're presenting this. How could this have happened? It must be awful, as a man losing his life. The crystal tower has been greatly damaged too. I know what happened. It must have been that. That? The day before the demonstration, I had a usual meal of frankfurters at the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now. He has a guilty conscience. It's divine retribution of my wrongdoing. That's what this is. For scientists, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. I guess present this. Fascinating, yes. Japan, where I come from, is the symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very bracing, I find. Your words make some sense to me, but they're entirely illogical. What do you mean? Well, for example, if I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for work very bracing too. However, in my case, there's a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. Oh really? What is it? I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one's too small for me. These sleeves especially are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists. That's what you call logical, is it? Of course, it's entirely logical. That's science, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know. Examine? Move? I mean, we talked to everyone. I guess we'll move back to Sholmes or Chief Justice? I mean, I guess we can move back to Sholmes Suite. Nope. Move back to there? Lodgings? 22nd October. Narrators like legal consultancy. What to do? What's next?
I'm so excited for the prospect of Mr. Naruto's anything consultancy opening for business again.
Doesn't know what it's called. It's Naruto's legal consultancy. Done a lot of studying in these past 6 months, reading law texts and stuff. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again.
Nothing's changed here at all, has it? It's as though time stood still since you went back to Japan.
I guess. I want to keep it ready for Miss Sato in case she is able to return to Britain at any point. They just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see. Right.
And there's me.
There was me thinking because of the way you are, Bruno. I know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris, this isn't the time or place to bring up my tidiness. Or lack of it. I guess. I don't know. Is there anything left to examine? At first glance, my desk here might look as though it's a mess. However, it's not a mess at all. Everything's exactly where I want it to be. But whenever Mrs. Sato looked at it, she put her hands on her hips and say, "Oh dear." Her way of saying it would make me more orderly and neat mess. I miss that. That's funny. There's anything else? tea. I don't know. What are we missing? Maybe we need to present something to Strongheart. It's sweet of you to say so. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's gonna talk about shovels, talk about rooms, plants, prawns and anemones. Bruno's disappeared, what? Oh no, just progress the story. Move. Move. Maybe present this. By the way, Lord Strongheart wrote this. Symbol of a defense lawyer in the Japanese judiciary. I didn't expect you to know that. Never accepted foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court. Yeah, right. That reminds me, have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? Well, that. The Reaper attacked. That. You enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not? Poor Mr. Reaper, what happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he? There's no need for concern. Levin's will not be easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Alright, we unlocked another thing. Lovely. Fortunately, Lord Van Zyx emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for them. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? It's related to events occurred a month ago. The leader of one of Capital's criminal organization was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zyx. But the man was acquitted. No doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchmen clearly seem to think so. His man named Asman, Mr. Odie Asman. Did you say Asman? That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition. He isn't known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable. I wonder if I could ask you something, Lord Strongheart. Why do you use Lord Van Zyx as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court and meet mysterious ends outside the courtroom. Fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zyx first. No, there's no evidence he's actually the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here. Does Lord Van Zyx work for the prosecution serves for two reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. Doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died, but not by someone's hand? Van Zyx may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. I see. Oh, I must be leaving for the next engagement. Okay. Ready. 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues must be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's something. The meeting already started when I arrived here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Sykes now? I assume he's at his office. Okay, I guess we're going to his office then. Away with you now, I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely into your hands. Of course. Okay. Right, let's go to his office. That's a brand new place we've never seen. Have some spice here, baby. Nom nom nom. This is the Reaper's office. It appears so.
Brr, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazing, deadly atmosphere.
Is that hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you doing here? He's as unwelcome as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. That's my apprentice. He's sitting there for his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Hey, Toby. Thanks for the heart emoji. He is very able in combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that is. Such a fabled fiend generally inhabits our great courtrooms. Okay. Let's hear. Oh, Strongheart, what's that assault? Some revenge? True. Carried out by henchmen of Odie Asmon's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably, they hoped to kill me before that happened. Odie Asmon. He always masqueraded as London's most powerful financier, a global investor, but his enormous wealth came down by underhand means, by his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, did he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper?
But the man's got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances, it was a most unusual case of death. I know about that. It was a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asmon died when Mr. Asmon died in demonstration on the public experimentation stage and did an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think it has some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen? No, that he has? Well, no, that doesn't seem a little far-fetched. This man really is a fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Bruno? I mean, what you're taking on Professor's defense for trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to defend him? That's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Harebrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. You're what? I understood that Professor Harebrain was from Germany, though. Harebrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together. I was in the faculty of law, of course, and he's in science, so our paths rarely cross, but curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since university. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, all people, representing him. Only to make it out of this office alive. He's actually in charge of the murder, it seems. Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor have been friends. We are friends, it's true. And why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
What's Lord Van Sykes thinking? The Reaper's identity. What do you mean by what you said before? You said you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity? Does that mean... I'm a crown prosecutor, an immortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or acquittal.
Those I prosecuted are the vilest wretches of our society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsumi, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Where is Ginny? In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I've encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. I hope so. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you weren't involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believed it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Like Batman. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pursuit of him serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. It could get you killed. No, that is my fate. Let God decide. Lord Van Sykes. Guess we'll look around. Lord Van Sykes, about the article in this paper. Yes, as soon as a reporter nearby when the little skirmish took place. I had no idea I had been photographed. I was so careless of me.
It's as though he was taken after people attacked you. I'd run away, though.
Rest assured, the police had already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. And I think it's the same man who's sitting there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him. Do you think his apprentice is the Reaper? He's my tutelage to become prosecutor. So, you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, Like you're Hurley then. Like you are the Hurley then, you know?
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with the great detective. He's currently compiling a report from last night's attack. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. Oh, looks like he's wearing some kind of... Along Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, nor indeed his identity. Why would you agree to take him on such clearly suspicious individual? Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Well, meeting him for the first time. The test is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all of the briefs. So combine all of them. Nice to meet you. I guess we're not talking to him. Back to your work again. That was really strange, though. I never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Maybe as a man. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anyone from outside this office. Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? No, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. Almost like Cosma? It could be. Yes, there's something I'm meaning to ask you. Oh? What is that? The Nipponese man, is he faring well? Sorry, the one who arrested twice in succession 6 months ago? With the stoop, the mustache, and the jitters? Mr. Natsumi, you mean?
I'm sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Serena.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by eternal post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion here, don't you? There's a little time left for tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Who's this mysterious person? He looks like... I think he looks like that Japanese guy. The Japanese detective that came over. I have a feeling it's him. A little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it in investigating the case. Okay, sounds good to me. Thanks for the advice with the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Saseki-san, after a Nipponese. Not sure whether to feel happy at that or worried.
Never imagined Mr. Rebirth to be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? You mean Professor Hairbrain? Might be worth quizzing the Professor Brothers' relationship with Lord Sykes, I think. Okay, I guess we have more to talk. More things unlocked. Alright, converse. I understand Lord Van Zykes is a friend of yours from university days? Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science. That's what he was back then. What was he like back then? Good question. Nice, unassuming, gentlemanly, all-around nice fellow, really. Sorry, I think you misheard me. We're talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Beric Van Zykes? What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Bruno.
As I said, I'm an assuming extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zykes family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had such a noble blood.
Little darling? A little bit of shock when I came back to Britain to learn what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less. Yeah, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. Really? What sort of event? I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Yes, of course. Maybe you heard all about the Reaper. I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zykes will be the prosecutor in the court tomorrow. Alright, I guess that's it. So, Professor, let me make this absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You no intent to harm the victim, who is in fact the sole investor in your work, is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it. It's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention, so I know that far from blameless in all of this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. Oh, G-Funk. Whoa, G-Funk, thank you for the raid. Oh, my cat came to invade as well. How are you doing? Doris Rose dropping in. Oh, Soul Treasure, thanks for dropping in as well. Happy Bun? Automod something. Okay, fine, we'll Simply Brittany. I forgot Will is a follower emote. Okay, and thank you so much for the raid. Got a cat. Hey, come over here. Over. Hey. Anchovy. My anchovy cat. Come over. He's just gonna chill. He's not gonna come over. I guess not. Alright. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, Lasty815. I remember seeing you. Yeah. Yeah. I have to figure a way to show Anchovy on stream without grabbing him, because it doesn't seem like Anchovy wants to be picked up right now. But we're playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We found out that the Great Expedition in London just had an uttermost failure in an experiment which killed someone. And so we're trying to find out, is it an accident that we can prove, or is it, was it intentional by Hairbrain? So let's find out. Oh, Anchovy. Can I pick you up? Here we are. We have Anchovy right here. Hi. Ooh. Yeah, we're playing games and we can't. Look over there. Over there. Yeah. Alright. No more coming in, okay? I'll hang with you tomorrow. Or, I mean, later. Alright, I'll put him back outside. Hey, Jazeel, good to see you too. Ugh, that's the cat. Wow. Oh. Up we go. You just missed our first part of our first case. I don't think I've seen you much. But yeah, now we're taking on a case where a new scientist who's been trying to teleport or launch people safely from one location to another ended in utter failure at the Great Expedition. Great X something. And yeah, essentially killed a guy named Asman and Odie Asman, and he was actually secretly, like, he was the investor of the invention, and he was actually secretly a mafia or criminal organization leader. So there's a lot of conspiracy involved. Glad you all came along. I'm Yoshi OST. You call me Andrew.
We love to pray for anyone who comes in if they have a prayer request. So let me know what's up, and if we could pray for you, I'd love to do that. And of course, we love reading the Bible at the beginning, and also I'm sharing the gospel with people. So yeah, I appreciate you all for the raid, and I hope you're doing well, Jazeel. I actually hung out with CEO way past bedtime. It was kind of intense. You probably would know from your Discord. If you check out the Discord as well, you can always send me a DM there. And I don't have Jazeel's Discord here, but if you ever go to Jazeel's Twitch, he would also be able to lead you to it. I hang around there too. Alright. Mordecus, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And if there's anything we could pray for you, I'd love to pray for you. And if there's anything cool happening around this weekend that you're excited about, let us know. Let us celebrate and be happy for you all. Yeah, so we're trying to find out whether this explosion that killed that person was an accident or not. Alright. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories, but I do believe you, and I'll fight to prove your innocence with all my might. Thanks for raiding along, G-Funk. I'm a man of the law, that's all I know. You have to believe me, please. When I'm alive in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. Unless you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Ain't that a message we need in this day and age? Thanks for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court. Alright, Reno, it's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition. Sorry? Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it? I guess we're gonna have to do more searching around. Investigation time. Let's go. Good. Alright, we're going to do some exhibitioning. Research. 22nd October, the Great Exhibition. Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. The show grounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been talking around in the dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times. Oof. There are a lot of people, aren't there? I'm almost been trotting on 3 times too. Be careful. Won't you rise? Don't let go of my hand. Finally made it through the strongs though, and by the looks of it, we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Look at that. Look at the illustration in the 3D thingy-mabob. I bet they did a mesh there and animated it. What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. Sounds like an argument. Wait. I had it with you this time. I warned you. I'll rescue you in a minute. Oh yeah? Go on, Inspector. Give it a shot. You ain't got evidence and you know it. Wait, I know those 2 voices. You got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady. But a night in the cells will teach you some manners. Just try it, I dare ya. Want that bag of chips rammed down your throat? Yoo-hoo! Graxy! What are you doing up there? He has unlimited chips. I want unlimited chips. And I have chips. Chips!
Nom nom nom. Ah! It's you here. You're here. Here you are. You're her ladyship. Woohoo! How are you, your ladyship? I hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? Not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. Is my mic really loud? I'm gonna turn it down a little. I wonder why I didn't believe, but there's a 3-hour queue. Unbelievable. I'll have a word at you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. He really likes to get on Iris's good side. Vice Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Mordecai says, I like my potatoes in all forms, no matter what you call them. And for that reason, I can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely, or there should be. Watch it, sunshine. Sorry. What to give then? Don't tell me you're on this case. Yeah, I'm acting for the defense. So we are here to investigate. Dear me, that's the situation, isn't it? Is it really that troubling? It's a measly 5 bub? Is that all you got? Who is talking? Oh, you're a lawyer, aren't ya? You could stand to carry a bit of copper around your pockets, Mr. Odo. This is our friend. Well, hey, that's my bit of spending money, that is. She just took ours. You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob. That's our friend Gina Lestrade. A pickpocket, a diver born and bred in the East End of London. Stephen Lenny says, how about poutine? Yeah, Mordecai, do you like poutine? Have you ever had it? In case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court. What's your problem, Odo? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with all your name calling? You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do you? I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground. That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. After you're a long time, people can change. Losty 815 says, about to eat chopped brisket, mac and cheese, and cornbread. She says, sounds great. Mordecai says, not my favorite, but I've only had it once. Well, if it's good poutine, maybe it'll be better. If it was just meh, then I don't know. Gina's an apprentice now, learning from the Scotland Yard detective. Oh, so she's a apprentice now. Cool. You have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now. Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. The inspector's part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls her that. Oh, Steven needs to run. Okay, I'll pray for you. Whether you catch it or not, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for bringing Stephen Loney here to just hang out for a bit. God, I pray that you continue to work in him for all he does in game development and programming and making videos and stuff. God, I pray that your glory be known and that you continue to make him productive and that he could have a great weekend. I pray that all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, see ya. Thank you so much for hanging. Bye. Whoop. For what it's worth. Anyway, investigation's off the cards for all of us. What's that supposed to mean? Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright? Right, sir. This raises lots of questions. Let's talk to Gina. It was 8 months ago that I first encountered Gina in connection with this case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. I had a lot of time to think about it in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Jenny. Well done.
Alright. So you went from being a pickpocketing to detective. You got good, ain't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Talk about a sea change. And there's Iris's old man to think about it. Iris's father, you mean? Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? Said I'd get to all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise then, nothing serious.
Oh, Jenny, you're so sweet.
So anyway, how's come I had to go at the test for Scotland Yard? Only trouble is I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem, nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Rexy and asked for help.
So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility of Ginny and make her a sort of apprentice. That's a very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson and brave.
Well, you know, Hurley, he enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
Oh, I mean, he's essentially have an assistant. A detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So, as long as the short of it is, if you got questions about the case, just Inspector Lestrade. Right, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Oh, what's that, Bruno? What?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the raper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still. Come on, you're not still about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, whatever it's called. Boy, you don't have to worry, Odo. I didn't worry half hurry. There probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside, and that I ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be a stretching a point. What about Mr. Natsumi in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he? That's true. Perhaps the Reaper's more discerning than I thought. Exactly. So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine. Okay. Yeah. All sin leads to death. If that's something I know for sure. Go. It was out of this world. It was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on this machine and suddenly it started blowing smoke. Then it suddenly went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet. Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes?
Yeah, of course. Boss in charge here, ain't he? Keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's gonna take some getting used to. So, all I say is, I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above.
No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too.
Yeah, do it. You know, I'll put boss in its place already, right? Iris, you have no trouble at all.
Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine explodes so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybean still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
I don't know. Oh, right, well, it says a success in a way. It was. Successful experiment? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. It's like I said, it sort of did work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and a whooping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there. Wow. So they actually launched him into the tower, huh?
You can see for yourself, ain't it?
Sorry. You can see for yourself, ain't ya? Up there in the scaffold. Oh, there's glass broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim got in started with really did get beamed through the air whatever and landed all the way over there. So you see, it did kind of work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Interesting. I tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. There, are you sure? Yeah, go on. I had free Bob off you before, so fair is fair. I didn't actually give that to you, did I? The sketch of the experiment has been added. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, so cage down here and then this beam, I guess. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. Oh, but what it's worth anyway, investigation's off the cards for all of us.
Yeah, naughty old Gregsy ran off after her, without explaining himself.
Well, right, that. Boss said that no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday.
Well, that's not fair. We were representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you learned from your investigations? You're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither. Why? What did the boss call him again? The Forensic Investigation Team. The FIT team. FIT. Anyway, apart from them a lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, isn't it? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yeah, I never heard of something like that before. I have a gander on the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before going down there. Didn't ya? I think you're giving him such much of an earful back as I remember it. Yeah, well, sometimes I think if all of them chips what make him I'm stubborn. So stubborn. You say something to him, Odo? Go on. See if you can get through him. He's above us, I guess.
We could try, Bruno. Rexy just will listen
To us. I guess Rexy, because he wants to please Iris, maybe. Let's examine some stuff first, though. Let's look at that. Okay, look, what's this? It's a ripped piece of cloth. Not like any fabric I've seen before. It's thick and stiff. Extremely durable. It's a canvas, I think. Some sort of rubber backing. The edges appear to be charred. Okay. Let's make a note of it. Or something. Okay. We can look at this thing, too. It looks as if someone dropped something behind the tree. Okay, well, let's see what it is. It looks like a machine that exploded. Right. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. It looks like a crossbow. Like, something. The ground. There's like a wire. Cause damage in the spot. Also, if there's a fire. You look closely here, there's scattered ash. Okay. I suppose there's a big explosion up, but people wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have happened. I'm not sure we English understand what that laid back, Bruno, or quite laid back. Okay. We looked at everything. We get that. Crystal Tower, certainly an apt name. It's built at the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is being so tall with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. There are lots of exhibitions inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, and a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors. Well, at the moment, shattered glass from the failed experiment may will be the biggest draw. Thanks to that incident, the door is shut. But it's not the crystal tower anymore, but the crystal glass shower. Apparently, everyone's taken to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. That is a 3-hour queue going up in a balloon now. Londoners must be very patient people. Okay, we looked at all of that. Okay, let's look at this. This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. Very high up. About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman just above me said. I don't really understand feet really well. We don't really use them in Japan. Oh yes, sorry, about 9 meters. But as soon as you've been in London for a year or now, it's time you got used to our measurements. Yeah, well, the thing is, so tall spectators at the front would have just seen the wall and nothing else. You probably thought they'd secure the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed. They're saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Okay, we've seen everything. Maybe. Oh, we still have to look at that. That's where the cove ended up in the instant kinesis. And yet they called the experiment a success? What's the wooden scaffold there for? Coppers, our lads set that up after the incident. Put the body down, I think. Oh, so he was stabbed there or something? Like he flew into the glass? Yikes. Didn't you help erect the scaffold then? Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged the gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Sounded like a magnet thing. Okay. Guess move? I think that's everything. Guess we'll present something or look at something. Some sort of lever there. It's a crossbow. Whoa. It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Oh no. Uh-oh. We have to unravel it again. And then we can click on this thing. Maybe it's a grapple gun? Looks like you could wind this around in order to try the... No, it's not a grapple gun. Our arrow's in a huge amount of force. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. I really had no idea I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. It's groove here. It must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. I was right, it's some sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. It'd be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with a bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma. Kasuma in Kyoto archery training. Perhaps there's something underneath. Guess that's it. And this. It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before, but applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, you could deduce it was part of a raincoat, or someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Nah. It's probably from like a hot air balloon, maybe? Can I present this to Gina? Gina, would you take a look at... Where did it go? She took it. Looking for this, Odo? Wonder if you got anything else to show me, eh? What'd you reckon? Give that back first, please. Gina, we should... Okay. It's nothing about that. Blah blah blue. Gina. Okay, nope. That's not a thing. Okay, present this maybe? Nope. Okay. Present. This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer. And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. Now you're going to start calling me Inspector Lestrade. In that case, you'll have to start calling me, well, anything but Odo. I can call you Defender Naruto if you like, but you don't really trip off the tongue. No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? Ah, what's missing? Nope. Nobody there. Nope. We can examine random things. Examine him. I don't know. Van Zykes? I think he's ignoring you. Okay, well, prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside of the courtroom, as a rule. If anyone is being rude here, it most certainly is a man in black. They're standing before us.
Oh, I see.
Well, did you see that? He spoke to me, Runo. Yeah, he's ignoring me. Okay. Well, let's go through everything, just cause. Yeah, he drinks a lot of wine, if I do say so myself. Yeah. Yeah, you throw them around in court, I know. Because this imbecile is so bad. Re-trigger him. You should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. But it's my fault? Silly me. How could I have ever thought otherwise? That's one way to put it. That looks like... Yeah, he has a mini model. That's pretty cool. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here. Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person. Perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious I'm using it as an aid. Right. That's so funny. What a big troll. Alright. Chess, Levin Zykes' desk look. It's so stylish. And that marble just sat beside it. Chess. That's the Westerners' version of Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Really? You should probably look at chess problems in the case. I'll have to challenge Lord Zykes with sometime. about Shogi problems.
If only you would really challenge yourself, you would have always wanted to do that on your own. Your own at home.
Okay. Sheesh, that's imposing. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? Probably his father? It's a very majestic outfit and pose. But sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job capturing Lovin's facial features. I mean, might be his...
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not far off, but the artist was exaggerating his subject's handsomeness, I think.
That reminds me, I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive than when they painted him.
Help me, that's not really an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait doesn't depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Who is it? Alright. Guy's gone. Look at all this ancient cast. Probably wine, right? Cast in the Reaper's chamber are the caskets? You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them? Do you? Ridiculous notions. This is my collection of fine vintages. It's fine. Of course. Thanks for clearing that up. We're just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper. I wouldn't if you had invited yourselves into my office to talk nonsense. What's this? That's creepy. They're bats. This is Batman. Reaper's familiar, so I expect. What of the mute man in the dark cloak? Just not the flying kind. Must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then. I see. I think the familiar's idea is more likely. Scary though, either way. We examined everything here, I think. Oh, stairs. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot. I don't think we're supposed to, but okay. We move. Alright. Exhibition grounds experimentation stage. Yikes. That's it, the machine that blew up.
Must have been a magnificent explosion. I've seen my fair share.
Have you seen things like this before, you mean? Alright.
In fact, in his own words, explosions are very essence of chemistry.
Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry explosions. Let me explain the smell of burning that comes out.
One time, he made something that exploded with such force, it took the roof out of the building. I wish I'd been there to see it, Runo.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough of that. Time to investigate.
I suppose. It's Inspector Gregson. Seemed deep in thought.
He's just confused to me.
Okay. Examine. Oh, examine this big blob. Ripped apart magnificently, didn't it? Yeah. Mercilessly, someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and beamed through the air. Beamed. Not blasted? That's the point. That's the part that's crucial, really. Something like that even possible? Though, Iris? Oh, no, I'm just a child. How should I know? A child when it suits you, you mean? From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this... Stop! Don't touch that!
That's practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over here, right, Gracie? Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but you can't touch anything up here. So sorry. Have my latest tea. Oh, I love that. She can just calm him down right away. Wonderful. This stuff is really wonderful. It's just like old times. This is... okay. I guess now we've invited him over. We're presenting Professor Hairbrain in court tomorrow, Inspector, so we should be allowed to examine the scene. Listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. That blessed special dispensation of Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty. Oh yeah, that special dispensation. Prof should name that. More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Grixie? Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say. Anything you say. Please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will ya? I couldn't get his voice right anymore. Don't worry, but just won't dream of touching anything. She really knows how to get what she wants. Alright. Examine more stuff. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Hairbrain was lucky to escape unscathed. So good look around, I can't, I think. Touching anything will kill you, strung yourself up, you mean? I wouldn't touch a thing, I promise, so please, spare thought. Do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? Yes, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all these scrap metal, we would answer that question. But we can't we? Because of the annoying rules, you mean? Yeah, annoying rules. Look at the base of the machine there. There's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh. It looks like that. It's a screwdriver, I think. Isn't it the ugly one? The handle's the shape of a capital letter A. Sort of. It is. Oh, yeah, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything, and I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Alright. Jeez, so dramatic. Rexy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very curious. Where's your ladyship? You're so clever. I guess. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. Runa found it first, I assure you. I investigated thoroughly. Okay. He's gone off with it. That's very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy, embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Poor Grexy. Okay, so guess we could still talk to him. Okay, so keep examining. There's that. There's this thing. What's this? It's rotating slowly. That's new. I've never seen that in a Phoenix Wright game. That's that giant wheel. That's a Ferris wheel. Okay. Man, I'm already exhausted from reading. I'm probably not going to continue reading. Well, they rotate nicely, seeing the surrounding scenery. It's turning. It looks completely still. That's because it's turning slowly. It takes half an hour to sit there. If you were bad enough to go on one, it would be more than fun to whiz around fast, don't you? This is though you might just invent a new sort of ride there, you know? Oh, you can look upward too. Okay, let's look at that. All sorts of strange buildings here, aren't they? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time. There's not a particularly steely samurai with the present among the early stories. I love the bring back of samurais, because samurais and a steel samurai is kind of like a running joke. So that'd be cool. You might not find many of those people around you, so you think. Oh, that's dull. But I do know a prosecutor with so much top knot I could introduce you to.
Chomage.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Really?
Do you think you could have the picture taken with them, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago. Yeah. Okay, we talked about everything there. Let's go look up. Okay, using horn-shaped device pointing to the crystal tower. I suppose people are disassembled by the machine. They're shot out of that thing wherever they're going. I don't think I'm supposed to shoot anything, Runa. It's set up to beam people to the crystal tower where they be reconstructed in their original form. Well, I don't like the look of it. It's amazing as it looks. The accident really could have happened in the first place. If it's as amazing as it looks, yeah. Nothing bad would have happened, right? I suppose so, but nothing ever goes around according to plan, is it? Let's see if there's any weird stuff going on. Okay, so we can look at those. People carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I just thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly, but I never imagined it would involve being suspended from colorful floating Mario handballs. Sure must feel amazing being up there. Maybe. I'd like to try it, but without a cast iron guarantee the thing won't plummet to the ground. I'm too scared. Yeah, if there's a pop in the balloon, then maybe. Well, in that case, I would tell you that what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode. True. And call me crazy, I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. Just come with that. Alright, that's about it. Alright. I think we saw everything then. Let's talk to Gregson. Government policy? Using high voltage electricity to disassemble a man's body and then beam him across the crystal tower? It's an extraordinary thing to attempt. True. There's by far the most unusual events planned for the exhibition line. To be honest, I'm quite surprised it was allowed, carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators. The government's doing everything it can do to promise new science and technology, so I'm more than worried about being ahead of the game in the old spot of public safety agreements. If they can, I think I'm dozing off. Sheesh, I need to stretch. Hold on. They can be the first to develop some new technology that makes Britain more powerful in the future. See? Yeah, I suppose that's true in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights. Okay. What sort of rights? They're making it so that any theories and brains that remain their legal property, as it were, right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production, which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this scene, because a new highfalutin special dispensation for special equipment act prohibits it. Let me see. The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've relegated to keeping guard. Forensic Investigation Team. Any old fool can see this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with, but just because it says it's a scientific experiment on paperwork, it can't do a flaming thing with it. Poor Grexy, he's very head up, isn't he? I don't know what head up means. Okay. Head up. It's the hot, heated up in Scott. Okay. Special dispensation. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the senior? You, having me at it. Sunshine, this special dispensation quack act. Yes, I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a special twinkle in his eye, remember? Sure did. I'm sure he did. All scientists do have to present their ideas, inventions, and some suits in civil service, and if it gets rubber stamps, it does guarantee your rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality. Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forth by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. Oh, I love how absurd the inventions here are. It's all so fun. Maybe fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine it? Hang science, that's what they say. But I'll say, oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job. You soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers, bogus contraptions, but they're all bogus. How can anyone demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there's the point, sadly. Sorry, thanks to another of the government's bright ideas, any theory or invention seemed to show potential. The government hands out a research grant. The scientists get funding? Exactly. That's what they're all after, all these shammers coming too far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. Who is to keep them all safe? Who is to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So, as you can see and say now, can you hang science? Hang it! Oh dear. Maybe I can see your point. Okay, let's hear about Harebrain. Apparently, Professor Harebrain lived and works in Germany. That's right, came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants, huh? Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. There's time further in education. Turns out he was at the university where someone we both know, Lord Van Sykes. What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Sykes mans the prosecution, then as accused, the professor's fate is sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another? No, blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in his head. Talking of Van Sykes, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that? Well, yes, but Mr. Reaper, it's completely fine. Don't worry about it. Senator Peach says, bye, Stephen Loney. About to eat chicken. What? Dude, that sounds good too. Chicken? Fried chicken sandwich. I'd want one right now. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up? I wonder. Mystery of the Reaper. The victims of the case of Mr. Asman. He is another one of Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Beric Van Sykes is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yeah, I heard about yours being bribed with the evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Sykes initially, but we all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies the charge, well, we've done a very thorough investigation and conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Sykes is in no way related to the deals of the people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I stake my reputation on it, I would. Well, I have a feeling that either somebody else is trying to bring vigilante justice, or something's going on where Van Sykes is related. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants can just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrain mentioned something else. He said at that university Lord Van Sykes was totally a different person, easygoing and kind. You what? He said that It was after they both graduated. Something happened that changed the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've only got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Wasabi says, "Oh no, this man has no chin. He's just a... what? He's just a big head? Someone donate some chin and jaw. I'm so confused." Oh, this guy? He has no chin? Are you done here, Mr. Naruto? Is it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. That lot are here now. Oh, it's the something investigation team. That lot? The forensic investigation team. They'll be giving the HEVO in a minute, too. Oh dear, poor Greg too. Here, have another cup of special blend to cheer you up. Glug glug, glug glug glug. I mean, he sort of has a chin. That hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, at least he's seen with my own eyes. Looks like as far as we're gonna get in the investigations here, at least. I've been thinking. Curly might know something, mightn't he? About what? About Mr. Reaper. About what happened to Lord Van Zykes, you mean? It sounded like something very significant occurred after he graduated. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Schultz. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he? Here, have this. You need. This is what you need. It's Madame Test Spells. Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Test Spells? Is that supposed to mean something to me? You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London. It's close to Baker Street, actually. We can go there if you like. We don't have time for that. But that's where Hurley is. What? This popular London attraction? Alright, how's that you know where he is? Oh, the gospel message has been triggered. Get to it in a bit. You don't need to keep it a secret from you, Bruno. Madam Test Spells? I don't see how this could be related to the case. But strange things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Alright. I guess we're moving? This might be their last section. I wonder if Sir Jazeel is finally on yet. I wonder if he has schedule. Let's see. I know Sean is having a birthday party, I think. Where's Sean the gamer? Let's see. Sean. Or he might have left and is having cake or something. No, he's done, it seems like. That's too bad, we missed him. Alright. Oh, Museum of Waxworks, okay. Wow. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes, but why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers? I know what that I'll be dreaming about tonight. They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Wax models? I read about dead bodies in wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how ghosts are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called adibokri? Stop talking about creepy things like that. You're scaring me, Bruno. Anyways, adibokri doesn't form readily, you know? What now? I just remembered something else I read.
in a magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibits here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas. It can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. There's no way anybody would make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait. What is it? I must be seeing things. What's this? Is this an arm? Looks like an arm, doesn't it? One of the worst wax models has fallen over. You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here? Do you? You're gonna stop scaring me. It's not like an arm or a real one. Come on, you're always pointing that finger at yours at the court. Put that arm down and see how it feels. Objection. Guess we're not checking it? This heavy curtain is a very prominent position, isn't it? A nasty feeling there's something going to be... there's something... nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it. Yes, like the famous Tesla special exhibit. She's definitely a vivid imagination, yeah. That's what Xanadu Peach says. Do you want to pay an extra fee and I'm gonna look? Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment. It was only a suggestion. Okay, let's talk to him. It's the great detective Sherlock Holmes. Is no wax statue in here? Really? Well, he's world famous after all. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? Makes my skin crawl just looking at it. Well, Bruno, you can kick his butt surely, and he doesn't move a muscle. You can't go around kicking exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. Not just a little bit, either. Really? Did it? Look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork. Shall we move on, Iris? Over here, look. There's a great murder scene you're enjoying. Much more thrilling. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such manner, as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes. I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruto. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? That kick. Could you not exercise a little more restraint? You winded me. Bruno has something he needs to ask you. A question? I thought you'd probably get bored too. So here we are. Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. Your 2 minutes being stationary like that. My great brain upon which all my successes have been built have been turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways the pair of you just saved the world an unimaginable loss. Oh, Hurley, you like to talk nonsense, don't you? Alright, you know something about Corbin Zykes and what happened in the past to change him? Oh, now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? Okay, you're in luck. I suddenly could take the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something's afoot within the walls of this very museum. Most fascinating case. Really? Moreover, I have strong suspicion that's related to the matter which you've come to me about. But how could it be? I shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. For now, I must return to my work. Okay.
Okay. Madam Testbells. What is this place? Madame Testbells came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand, but since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it really enjoyed the popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of the waxwork models is the particular secret of the Testbells family, they say. They were renowned during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. That sounds grim. Some scenes were portrayed with such realism, expressions of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptors would make models directly from the corpses, right there at the site of the execution. And, that really turns my stomach. That's just one of the several legends of the Testbells family. Whether there's any truth to it, I couldn't say. Anyway, this museum housed models famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visiting numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition, but people usually flock here to see exhibits of some of the vile criminals and their gruesome work. Naturally, most of these miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows, so they were even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public will live for poor taste. They aren't to be fooled, so the hideous exhibits here are... They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place. Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about it. Okay. He's back to being waxwork. Okay, I need a snack. Yeah, some water. You mean temporary waxwork? Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new post and snare them. When the members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'd happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does that mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? Is this how he works? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious for the money? You really word at me there. Pretty fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have ravenous eyes to consider. Oh dear. Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry. Push comes to shove, I shall ask you to do your bit too, Mr. Naruto. What, he's threatening to rope me in now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? A special treat. You may have your pick and all the murder scoundrels here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Mate, remember, Mr. Naruto, ignore me at your peril. Okay. Wow, something. Well, what is it you like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Dykes. Ah, our friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, trust. Alright, let's hear it. So I filmed Mr. Sholmes in about everything I learned. Let's have it autoplay. University. Does Hurley know? Mr. Sholmes? Once you reach unavoidable. Oh, hello? I hope you're all appreciating my museum. Sorry, have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Oh, not again. My apologies, I'm Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxwork. What, you? You are the Madame Tuspels? Bien sûr. You're only 26 years young, I might ask. Say, is that a significant somehow? A madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi. Right. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Or rather, one waxwork in particular. I mean, Mr. Sholmes then. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, will be totally in trouble. She sounds deadly serious. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zykes now? Let's not forget what Hurley said before. How about something being afoot right here in the museum? I mean... Yeah, I know, but... I'm so curious. I want to know what happened here. Got enough on our plate already? Maybe we can talk with her. Did y'all make this? Wow. Third generation of waxwork artisans. Oh. Grandmother made it? Living through turbulent times in the French Revolution. That's when she acquired the savior fare that leads to astonishing life-likeness. They look more alive than Hurley. The exhibit here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. Real people. Wow. Oh. So she only makes what people want to see? Sorry? This room's the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I hope you will explore. Our models are famous singers, actors, politicians, and some for everyone. Okay. Perhaps I should have eased you into things. Okay. And what's the situation with that? Temporary waxwork model. Push me some days, you see? The business proposal. What sort of proposal? My dear madam, Police Force Exhibit C, an additional world-famous great detective. What words to that effect? Mr. Sholmes is known, yeah. Great detective, actually. He's very specific about it, yeah. Creme de la creme. But sadly, unable to agree terms. And guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? £500. drive your cauldron of wax at this very moment. Or worse to that effect. Sales much too much, huh? The museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead. He doesn't need to do what he's doing though, does he? I think not, but he's very insistent. Our 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by someday. Or worse to that effect. It's a pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem. Is the consulting detective not going so well? Can I ask you something? I'm just curious, is there anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? Uh-oh. Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Well, it was... temporary wax work over there who mentioned it to me a little. He disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. There you are. Leaving the exhibit again? When you should be working? Do you wish to be melted down? Ayo, Madam Tuspel, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. Wax can wait. These are ideas of your current problem must throw. I would advise you not to involve the police. Why would not? Uh-oh. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Please be aware that I prefer no. I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let's see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Is this deduction time? Okay, we're getting clarification. What's behind this curtain? The special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it. Ah, special exhibit in the House of Horrors. This is a particular special killer then. Would you be so kind to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolutely not. There's nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madam? What of the arm protruding ominously under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens. Very well. Bon, second. Who's 139? Must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. Just a special exhibit is very bleak graveyard scene. Yet somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. Let's strike one, however. Is a portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor, is the ruthless killer himself? Afraid not, dear fellow. He's perfectly ordinary and a gentleman, not even a waxwork. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they're always distinguishable from real humans, so let me present my two conclusions. First, the sizable business transaction has been taking place. Why? Why did you say that? Second, that our aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks pale. I don't understand. Madam Tuspells, you agreed to my fee. You shall have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective in temporary exhibit at work. And here we go. Waxworks fake. Oh. Bundle of banknotes. Okay. 200 pounds. What does this large sum of money reveal? It's looking somewhere. Waxwork for sale? But it hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for a sum of 200 pounds. No! Let's explore the next curiosity. Who is the portly gentleman? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, Madam, keeping secrets doesn't appear to be your forte. 200 pounds was the shocking blow, apparently. I fear you twisted this gentleman around and drew Littlefinger most effectively. What are you suggesting? You actually agreed to purchase his waxwork sum for 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him that an extraordinary amount he was paying, the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us, he collapsed in shock. The killer in this special exhibit, the killer price. He can only pray the gentleman's dreams was not gotten. Waxwork location. The question rises then, what's become of the waxwork that changed hands? Okay. He strikes me about this conundrum as a young man standing over there. Is this fellow? To find the answer, we need to only observe his neckerchief. Worn by policemen, secret signed to fellow members of the force, undercover policeman investigating his museum. Known very well, in fact, is Sergeant John Clay. Who are we talking about? He is quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades last year, policing awards. But next we turn to an old man sat before him. I'm watching closely. He doesn't move a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. But your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. 12 pence? A tragically low price, you might say. Or perhaps going rate for age in waxworks riddled with cracks? You sold it for a portly gentleman for an exorbitant amount. The sort of plucky behavior which should attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam? You're not... The waxwork you sold has been seized by the police and remains in custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit. Not a moment too soon. That's so random. I don't think any of it felt logical at all. You've studied you all in science. Yes, Shirley. You have, Hurley. You obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot. If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. The North Star Odo has 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. That means he's particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman. Ottermole. Sorry? It's a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. Police rushed to every scene, every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the aether. It turned out the culprit was the policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Ottermole. So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man's supposed to be? Indeed. It's a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Remember that odious countenance only too well, but is 200 pounds a lot of money for a wax model? Be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages if that puts things in perspective. So it's quite a lot then. Is there anything else you would wish to add? Before I melt you down? Bubbling wax looks more and more ominous. The smell of that molten wax is starting to worry me. Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to your face, so I think it might be able to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. Make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions. Of course it's alright. Set it straight. Let's start it then, shall we? Ooh, let's go. That's what I was waiting for, my dear fellow. You'll not have the pleasure of seeing this famous great detective temporary exhibit at work. Course correction. Here's a tutorial, because we haven't done one of these yet. You must ask yourself, what exactly is afoot here in the museum? The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes in her bag. 200 pounds. That's all. That's all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast. If it seemed Madame's husband's, the answer lies your eyes now fall. Oh, this is wrong. So we're gonna change that. Looked at this direction, but I'm not sure she's selling anything on her wax books. You must pour her heart and soul into making them. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. Excuse me. For that much money, I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Anyway, I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance. Following the furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that would explain it. Is this blackmail or something? Looks like very suspicious to me. That's why I'm pretty sure this is the answer we've been looking for. Tricking nature will hasten the end of the universe, Miss Narrator. What? I thought you were looking at that thing about Bob. Okay, I guess we jumped too far ahead. Go back a step. £200 are no way related at all. Or am I just in the wrong place at the wrong time? It seems. But there's no doubt that Madame Tuswell did react to what Mr. Sholmes says. But she automatically looked over this way and tells us something, I'm sure. Then let's have a look around. That public notice is wrong. Hmm. Hmm. Clicking that note was wrong. Seems well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. It's not alive and kicking. He's not a waxworker or a model or a mass murderer. I'm just not sure I paid £200 for him. I don't think the man's up for sale. Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him, but other museum visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Well, let's read that, I guess, before we present it. What's that note doing pinned on the wall there? Well, let's see. Dear Madame Tussbells, you've taken the prisoner from this room. The price of his safe return is £200. Oh, so there's a wax kidnapping. Okay. What? This is just some sort of left behind someone's kidnapped. It's a ransom note. Okay. Now we can do that.
Take that!
That was unfair. Alright, the significance of £200 is revealed by the ransom note. I must congratulate these criminals on their inventive abducting of waxwork. The £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay for it. The model in question has special importance. So I put together all the money I have. Somewhere than £200 you have in your hand value is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity which we were presented. Who's the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? Shock. Cause of which is clearly known to you. Okay. Fortunately, madam, keeping secrets doesn't appear to be your forte. She's looking away. What dealt with man shocking low was of £200? No. We were just asking when he comes around. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of deduction process, Iris. You're right. Firely is trying so hard we mustn't let him down. So that he suffered a shock, that seems to be clear. In that case, Madame Tussbell is trying to hide. We have a closer look around. That. The hand? Right hand, isn't it? It must be. I can clearly see your left hand after all. But wait a minute. This is the left hand as well. Look. Left hand in her pocket. Kinda creepy. And it seems to be stiff. In fact, it's really hard. You mean it's wax? Alright, I guess we're just gonna submit this one.
Take that!
What dealt the man with shocking blow was the waxwork hand. Indeed, with solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial... No? How could you... The hand abducting... Not to be right hand, but closer inspecting this left hand. Ugh. Somewhat masculine, too. Doesn't belong to you, madam. It's a hand of a waxwork. The visitors to my museum could be troublesome. The metal of the exhibits and cause damage. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. This gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir. No small keepsake. Try taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you come to view blossoms. We're gonna have to teach a man a lesson. Confronted the man, tried to take the arm back. The result is we see before us. He's knocked unconscious. I suppose. Okay. Kidnapped. The question that arises then is what's become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let's consider the problem for a moment. You can't possibly... What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who's this fellow to find the answer? I need only observe his handkerchief. Remember Mr. Sholmes, the yellow handkerchief is assigned to other policemen when he comes on the way. I don't know if it's related. Alright. Who is this fellow? Find the answer. We only need to observe that.
Take that!
Alright, final shoulder stub. Hey, Sarita. Sarita, mate, hi! I hope you're doing well. We're going through some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and we've almost finished our second part of the chapter 1. We're in a wax museum and we're trying to detect what's going on. Why is there someone knocked out in the museum? The winner, no less than 3 policing awards, and I had me a model of manned. Somebody broke his arm? It was this that his arm was pulled off by the band on the floor in the second exhibit, wasn't it? Next, return attention to the old man sat before it, a particularly unsightly visage. Yes, I was playing a lot of Minecraft yesterday and this morning. Nice. I didn't have energy to play this morning, so I don't know what's going to happen today. Observe. A telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man was specs. After it's obviously the price tag. No. I think the scarf is just a red herring. But yeah, if you've ever had any issues recently, then let me know at the Minecraft server. I don't mind helping out. Special killer, stole from museum, tried to ransom for 200 pounds. I don't think so. We should have a good look around again, see if other ideas. Okay, tell this science to prove whether or not this old man is waxwork.
Take that!
It's twitching. Hey! Sarita says, I always need help with raw materials, mostly iron. And we are completely stuck in the Stone Age. Well, yeah. Sort of.
this is a genuine person. And there you have it. Madam Tuck's spells. It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in first place. And he's clearly fatigued. He's sound asleep. But then, what's his tagboat trying a price of 3 pence? How about the price tag of a muffler, which is the old hobby purchased recently at the local market? Serta says, so far, forget iron, I've been leveling the weaponsmith and he gives me iron axes and I smelt them for iron nuggets. Interesting. Okay. Jessica says, of course, but as you know, there's been such a criminal activity happening here. They deduced from the very beginning. Detective. Alright, so it seems that we finally arrived at the truth. Well, let's change all our conclusions, right? Next episode, especially ruthless killer who has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard's already investigating. The models were about to remain a mystery. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' Great Detective of this horrifying puzzle. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really smelted anything. Alright, let's see. Deduction complete. Let's go. All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. It is date. Sometimes they drop in for just a short while. Welcome them all. If someone has my exhibits, I'll not take it lightly. Anyway. Great Detection is even more enchanting than I'd been led to believe. Okay. Take a bow? Alright. As for your rough customer, I no doubt he regained consciousness shortly after the return home. What concerns me more is the weapon from the special display, if it was indeed genuinely abducted. No. What? It was. What? Really? Why would I? Then I would ask you to recount this event slowly, much as detailed possible. After I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work. Sarita Mage says, I'm also trying to rebuild the forest around the village so we don't have to go so far for wood. Oh, fair enough. As you wish. Alright. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please. It was some days ago when I came in here on one morning. I immediately noticed waxwork was missing in the special exhibit. It's a most prominent display, so why is the curtains closed? Another ransom note in place. Culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then. So this was waxwork was stolen. Why that's so horrible? Of a particularly horrible criminal. Who drew my icon? I drew it. I draw art, man. I draw arts for people and me. So, Mr. Naruto, it seems the circle is complete. The professor's case happened around the time I was born, didn't it? Yeah. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? It's exactly the time that Berg Van Zykes graduated from university, in fact. Surely it's not saying. So it's a big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life. As you surmised. it was the professor's case. Oh, who is this professor then? Uh-oh. The series of gruesome murders that all of London gripped terror for a decade ago. 5 victims were killed and the man was arrested. Oh, I didn't have to kill my dog and MC. His regression went away. Sweet. Now he's immortalized here. Although, of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of adoption. I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zykes? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that Professor earns such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of the Whitehall's finest. What do you mean, Hurley? Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of British aristocracy. Royalty, nobility, members of wait, of course. Professor Hainbred said Van Zykes' family was noble blood. So he lost his family to it? It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of... It's Van Zykes' brother? Clint Van Zykes? No, I don't believe it. Van Zykes? I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother, the younger Barrick being prosecutor, became the Reaper we know today. Sheesh. I had no idea Lord Van Zykes had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. Let's see. I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Oh, sweet. Well, I'm just waiting on Sir Jazeel to start streaming, and then we will raid him. But in the meantime, we're gonna swap over to Maple Story, maybe? None of the predicted scenarios I've been in. Okay. Some stuff. Analyze involved you coming and visit me here. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barrick. But me, are you going to be sweaty player in this? What do you mean sweaty player in this game? In Chronicles or Maple Story? It's been 10 years. I've been in prison. Can't forgive myself what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yeah. A young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough. It was an accident. Terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be sweaty in any game. Just gonna play it the way I want to play it. I must warn you. I know, I heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since you returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barrick, are you really? What? Never mind. Do you have best interests at heart? My best interests at heart. Fred is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barrick. Until tomorrow then, I'll see you in court. Is the story good in this game? Yes, the story is good in this game. There's so many twists and turns, I think it's worth playing. Alright, we finished a big amount of progress